Hello, viewers. Kubiando, Kith and Kin, and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, where I'm starting to feel like the cure for the shimmer is maybe moving up in importance. For a long time, I've thought, this will be a nice thing to do. It'll be nice to help cure Dad's weird alien allergies. I am becoming concerned that it seems to be becoming a more and more effective weapon, and that it appears to be trying to turn our dad, maybe all of us, into fungus from the inside out. So I would really like to get somewhere on that, just as soon as they will let me go to the right part of the map. So we're 4 points off of a level up from animals. We're 7 points off of a level up of bravery. We just got our collectibles thing. And I mean, it is a new year. We do need to go out and do our first explorations. We just have to rest first. I'm pretty torn, really, on how to approach spending our time. Can I do sports while injured? Okay, I can. Is Lookout Duty all it's... Okay, it's a little bit of animals. It's a lot of perception, unfortunately. A lot of wasted points. Defense training is combat and animals, which is interesting. But I think I want to grab that bravery. I want the organizing too. The organizing is definitely further away. Let's try to grab the bravery up. Let's see what the bravery up does. You play a good game today. It doesn't matter who wins or loses so long as you played your best and had fun. Okay, a 28. First collectible use is free. That's pretty fun. I don't know. Do I want to redraw my hand? You know what? I guess I do, actually. Oof, this is worse, though. I was going to say, we have a lot of high-value red cards, and we don't actually have a lot of them in hand right now. But yeah, this is worse for sure. So we could, like... We can nail a 28 that way. Is there a better straight that's available? I guess, actually, if I move this to here and build the straight there, then we can make a two of a kind on the outside as well. That's another point. Who would have thought that the way I'd resolve that was by playing 0 red cards? Okay, and that was the thing that I needed to see. So one more of those, and we'll have our bravery bonus. You're getting ready to leave your quarters one day when you're stopped by your mom, who hasn't left for work yet. She's always been an early riser, out into the fields before first sunrise. That she has specifically stayed home to talk to you is probably a bad sign. Sit down, Sowen, she says. We have to talk. This is the weirdly hostile. Okay, what's up? You sit down across from your mother. She stares you down, just looking right into your soul, like she's counting up every bad thing you've ever done. Okay, well, whose definition of bad are we using, though? I don't think you appreciate how much I know about you, she says, finally. With the amount of freedom you kids have, you forget that you're being watched. And I don't like what I'm seeing. And your attitude, she spits, is absolutely atrocious. I know you're a teenager and you're supposed to push boundaries, but this is ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Hold on a second. I know that I'm like, quote unquote, rebellious, but like, what? I'm very curious what specifically she's talking about. Because now that we're not sneaking out of the walls, now that we're going outside because we're allowed to go outside, I kind of don't feel like I guess I'm being rebellious in the sense that I'm helping Cal keep socks. She doesn't know about that. Right? I don't think she knows about that. Hey, Mom, do you ever consider maybe you're ridiculous? Do I yell at my mom? I think we're a little afraid of Mom. I think we're like gently embarrassed of Dad, and we keep getting reinforcements. It's like, oh yeah, Mom's actually hugely badass. So I think we probably don't yell at Mom very much. We'll just stay silent. She bangs her fist on the table for emphasis. This isn't some Hollywood high school drama, Sowen. This is real life. This is life or death. Do you get what I'm saying? People are going to die if you don't work hard enough. She shouts, standing up from her seat. She scrubs her face and sits back down with a thud. You have to learn how to fit in, she says, quieter. You're a part of a larger community, an ecosystem. You're supposed to be learning that, but you're running out of time. Soon you'll be an adult. People will need to rely on you. See, it's kind of interesting because, like, we have this high rebellion stat, which says specifically it's our relationship with the adults and the colony government. But we're actually very good friends with a lot of the kids. Like, we actually probably have better relationships than most characters would at this point, due to having focused so hard on getting collectibles so that we can be constantly giving people gifts. So I feel like it makes sense from her perspective, but I feel like she's like really missing a big part of what's going on here. Then again, though, I think probably our relationship with Mom is there's not a lot of back talk. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm not going to change what I'm doing, but I am going to tell you that I'm sorry. I'm going to get out of this conversation and then go right back to being me. Your mom nods, her face tight. I'm just trying to give you the best start in life, she says. When I was just a little older than you are now, I was fighting a war against the people of Earth. First they ignored us, then they mocked us, then they attacked us. She pats her prosthetic leg. And then we won. Also, we could give you the chance to grow up here. I don't want you to waste it. It's weird for her to be conceptualizing whatever it is that happened as her being at war against the people of Earth. Like she's not people of Earth. I have a lot of questions about what's going on in this colony. Because like it's still not totally impossible that like whatever happened with the wormhole, we were the only survivor and we've landed on a planet full of aliens with some kind of like mind reading ability, and they've like created basically like a terrarium out of our memories or something like that. Or, you know, maybe it's not everybody, maybe there are just some people in the place who are aliens, but like that was a very weird way to word the thing that she just said. I don't know. I'm probably jumping at shadows. I'm just like so weirded out still about the fact that there seem to be people out in the wilderness who aren't from here. Your mom reaches out and pats her hand patronizingly. I remember being your age, full of anger, ready to fight anyone who told me what to do. I wish someone had told me that I deserved better. I wish... She shakes her head. You can do better than this, Samhain, she says solemnly. You just have to apply yourself and listen to your elders. This colony needs you to be a part of it. It's why you were born. For a literal rebel fighter, your mom has a strange relationship to authority. You'd think she'd understand what it means to want freedom above all else. She's such a hypocrite. You're sick of people telling you what to do, thinking they know what's best for you. They don't know what it's like to grow up on an alien planet. They don't know what it's like to have all these weird thoughts and dreams. Also, I will say, I'm not really in love with the way the game conceptualizes like movement on the rebellion track, because it's often not doing things that are rebellious or loyal, but rather like thinking you might do a thing or saying you'll do a thing that actually moves the meter. Because like my apology there, I guess it repairs my relationship with my mom a little bit until she realizes that I didn't really mean anything by it. But like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's weird that actions seem to have so little bearing as opposed to words, is all. Anyway, let's do one more sports. Have I given... Okay, so your thing is an early dust. So I haven't given you a gift yet, but we're really short on gifts. Yeah, shoot. I need to go out for stuff. I need to go out for supplies to get gifts to give to people. Do we know when Mars's birthday is? We don't. It could be now. I'm gonna give her a bobber fruit. Okay, it wasn't now. Because we're gonna get gifts for everybody next season. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do gifts to these two now. Okay, Mars likes crystal clusters. Was that always true? I guess I just never tried that one before. That's interesting because she already... Oh, wait. Pretty Rock, no offense. What was... Should we smash it? Yeah, okay, so she didn't like it. Learned Mars dislikes crystal clusters is what this says. Because I was like, didn't we already know she likes something? Can they like more than one thing? But no, it's just a typo. It's just a typo that would have been obvious if I had read the rest of the words on the screen. You're paired with Nougat in practice. You make the mistake of underestimating her, and she wipes the pitch with you. You gotta stay respectful of the little ones. Little is not the whole story, you know? So, we can make a 5 of a kind pretty simply here. Can't really do much with the numbers. +2 to the card to the right of this. Can I make... Oh, a red card that is to the right of this. Yeah, shoot. I don't think I really can do better than this. This just is shitty. Well, we can just we can just force the win. But yeah, this is a pretty bad pull here. We're pulling a lot of hands that just don't have red cards in them, which is wild considering our deck is still like half red. Yeah, all right, nothing for it. That was the best we could have done. It was just a really bad hand. All right, what is the bravery bonus? Oh, that's actually really convenient. So do we want to rest now? It's not full relief. We could wait one more time, but no. I wanna go out for the month. I want to come back and have gifts and stuff. So yeah, let's go. Let's take the rest this month. We'll go out next month. You spot Tangent leaning against the wall outside engineering. She's yawning, rubbing her eyes and staring off into space. She startles as you walk up. Oh, Samhain, I was just taking a short break. You know what? Yawns are infectious. Did you stay up all night too? She asks. I don't even remember when I slept last. It might have been a few days ago. You haven't slept in 2 days? This is where you get the information about her genetic thing if you haven't figured it out yet. Via that other interaction, I guess. More like 3, she replies, then pauses for another jaw-cracking yawn. But as I said, I'm tired. Even my enhanced body has limitations. You look at her quizzically. I don't need to sleep as much as other people. It's a genetic... what's it? She says foggily. You know, a DNA enhancement. I guess sometimes I forget... sometimes even I forget to do it. I should set myself a reminder. Yo, I would choose this one probably. Hollow, add to schedule, sleeping nightly 2,300 for 3 hours? Her hollow palm emits a tone in response. Tangent nods sleepily. I should do it, she murmurs. Her eyes are practically closed. I'm gonna help her find a spot to take a nap. That seems like the decent thing. Tangent follows you obediently into the engineering wing, too tired to protest. You slip into medbay to grab a blanket and pillow off a shelf. By the time you return, Tange has already fallen asleep, curled up in an egg chair in the waiting area. You gently place the blanket over her, and she hums happily before going slack with much-needed sleep. She's adorable, and I love her very much. Does anybody else have any, pressing business? Here's a log. Here's my dad. You can hear your dad sneeze all the way from engineering. It's explosive, like he's trying to scare away predators. He's wiping his nose as you approach, on a handkerchief blotted with shimmering pink. Lately, he's also surrounded by a fine dusting of pink pollen that clings to him wherever he goes. Oh god, his cells are being fungused. You keep brushing the glitter off things in your quarters. I'm actually really concerned. He gives you a hug, then brushes pollen off your shoulder, laughing subconsciously. You haven't heard him laugh much lately. He's been working hard trying to improve the colony's food supply. He's showing signs of malnourishment, too, though your mom is worse. You're worried for both of them. Yes, I am. Your dad's skin is kind of shiny in patches. He sees you staring and rubs his hands over his arms. Sparkling dust poofs off of him in little clouds, scintillating in the light. Oh, yeah, that's a new symptom, he says. Seems harmless, though. You need to go see Chief Engineer Instance immediately. Your dad waves you off. I will, he says placatingly. She's as busy as we are these days, though. No sense bothering her. He flexes. He's pretty strong, though he's got nothing on your mom. And I'm doing fine, really. Your dad sniffles. Gosh, I feel like someone stuffed a whole potato pod up my nose, he says. Like I could just poke a stick up there and pop. Fresh potato juice. Ugh, Dad, gross. He just grins. What? It's true. You follow his gaze out to the fields and to the lands outside the gate. I wonder if the foragers could use an extra hand, he muses to himself. Yeah, maybe I'll join them out there tomorrow. Neither of your parents is taking proper care of themselves. They're so stressed out from the poor harvest and low food supplies. They try not to let you see it, but you can tell. Maybe your dad is right. A little seasonal illness is nothing compared to the danger of running out of food. Yeah, no kidding. There's a readout on the notice board, isn't there? Dangerously low. Oh, right, Vertimnalia. Man. Okay. How much can we really help with the food situation? We figured some stuff out thanks to xenobotany. But I don't, we need to find something to eat. We definitely need to go out and gather. So let's go ahead and relax in the park. You play with your Hop-Eye Optimus Prime while you hang out in the gardens. They're pretty well behaved, never straying too far into the underbrush, and always coming back when you call their name. Another Hop-Eye shyly approaches out of the long grass. Your Hop-Eye goes totally still, then lets out a happy chitter and bounces off to greet the stranger. They touch noses, then hop around each other twice. They disappear for a few minutes into the underbrush, long enough that you begin to get concerned. Finally, Optimus Prime bounces back to you and nuzzles against your leg. They want to be picked up and cuddled, so you pop them underneath your shirt and carry them like a baby the rest of the way. Aw, our bond has improved. You also play with your Vriki Squid Cap, hanging out with them just outside the walls. It's uneventful, which is exactly what you needed. You try to teach them some simple commands. Stay, follow, speak. It's adorable watching them tilt their head from side to side when they're trying to figure something out. They don't seem to really get it, but you get the impression they're trying. You quickly realize the Vriki must be named after the sound they make when they're happy, a whirring, clicking noise. For a weird spider tentacle creature, it's really cute. Okay, so that time we actually did get our level ups. I think I am cool with dropping a yellow 2 at this point. I think just taking yellow cards out of the deck makes sense. You're at lunch with your parents, sliced soy cakes and watery broth again, great. When they put down their cutlery and look at each other, and then you. Yeah, okay, here we go. Here's where they tell us that there's no food. So, your mom says, there's something we should tell you. We've tried to shelter you from some things, but we think you should know why we've been working so hard in geoponics. There's a meeting after lunch, and I want you to come with us. And I'm going to say okay with no exclamation point because I know what's coming, and I'm preemptively morose about it. You follow your parents to the council room. Mars has also tagged along, and you take a seat near them as your mom and Aunt Anne stand to address the council. After Uticott officially calls the meeting, she gestures to your mom. I'm not going to mince words, your mom says firmly. All of our efforts to increase food production in geoponics have failed, especially given the failure of the pixie beans. The destruction of the fields during the last attack put the nail in our coffin. By the end of the year, the colony will run out of food. The rest of the council murmurs in concern. You and Mars exchange horrified looks. You've been doomsaying about our food supply for 2 years, Flulu, Rhett questions. Do you mean to say we're past the point of no return? Your mother nods grimly. I'm afraid so. Even with rationing, without securing a Vertumnan food source, our supplies will run out by wet season. She gestures to Anne, whose face is grave. Anne and I have gone over the supplies and come up with food plans. We've crunched the numbers. Your mom sighs and spreads her hands. I'm sorry. Geoponics should have been producing better by now. We should have been able to wean ourselves off of soy rations. During wormhole transit, when we lost geoponics in the hull breach, she sighs again. I know, I've said it so many times, but our crops just don't grow here. We needed those algae tanks. We needed the microbial soil from Earth. Okay. So, this is not a helpful thing to none of this stuff is helpful. I do think it's a little bit of a bummer that, like, we have to react with surprise here in this moment, because our character should already be on top of this, right? Given that we were present for the discovery that the pixie beans... No, not present. Given that we made the discovery that the pixie beans are not actually a good long-term food source, we should have, like, figured this out already. I guess I'm going to shout, why weren't we told earlier? I mean, no, you know what? I'm defending my mom. It isn't Mom's fault. It's not. See, this is interesting. It's interesting to gain loyalty for that because, like, yeah, I'm being loyal to my mom, but I'm also, like, I'm specifically taking my mom's side against the rest of the council. I don't know. Well, it's not. The survival of the colony shouldn't rest on one person's shoulders. It's not fair. She's been working harder than anyone, and she did everything she could. The council mumbles agreement. You decide they probably never actually blamed her. The only holdout is Mars, who crosses her arm and grumbles that it's clearly a problem with leadership. So, what do we do now? Instance asks. Starving to death is not an option. No, it isn't, your mom replies. We need to secure a food source this year before our rations run out. We're working double shifts in geoponics, but it's not enough. We need more people planting, tending, turning soil. We need more hands. I can pull back the surveyors and focus on foraging native plants, Utopia offers. Even the young folks can help, if they've proven themselves around the survey equipment. I'll send out a holo message later. This has been the burden of geoponics for too long, Uticott says. It's time we all step up. For our future. The council nods in agreement. Your stomach rumbles ominously. Okay, physical skill increases reduced by 1 sucks a lot. So we're about to go out and get animal points. So, okay, we improved our pets. How did they improve? They didn't actually. We improved our bond with them. I guess I assumed that was going to improve the cards, but maybe that's not how it works. I don't know what that would mean, actually, if that's not it. Yeah, maybe there are some, like, events and things that can only happen if your bond is a certain level. I mean, it's not like they're bad cards to begin with, so I don't feel too sad about it. Yo, Dis, what's up? You leave the front gates and see Dis talking to one of the senior surveyors. He listens intently to their instructions, and the surveyor hands him a satchel of instruments and claps him on the shoulder before walking away. Dis turns to you. Hey, Samhain, he says. He hikes the satchel on his shoulder and gives you a shy smile. It's still kind of weird to be allowed outside the walls. Leave him alone to do his work. I don't want to, I want to, like, we want to reminisce, right? Do I want to reminisce or do I want to ask him what's the weirdest thing he's seen? Because I'm kind of curious if he's seen the people as well. I'm gonna ask him this. Hey, what's the weirdest thing you've seen? Dis looks up at the sky with a thoughtful look. Well, there's this big rock in the western ridges that's almost totally flat on top. When I get near it, it makes me feel happy. He smiles. It's so strange, and it's really hard to leave. The first time I went there, I laid on top of it for so long that I almost missed the transport back. I know it's my job, but I haven't told anyone about it yet, he says. I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like it wants to be kept a secret. I am not going to hit on Dis. Again, I think Dis needs a friend way more than he needs, like, romantic entanglement with me. I'd love to see it sometime. This is, like, so obviously mocking. No, yeah, I'd love to see it sometime. A weird expression passes over Dis's face before he schools it back to his trademark blank look. Maybe, he replies. I don't know. I don't think it wants that. That's curious. Dis looks pretty busy, so you say goodbye and let him get back to his work. You'll have to let him keep some of his secrets. For now, learned Dis more. Oh, interesting. We got, like, stats. Huh. These are not meaningful. But okay, there's stat bars and stuff. So wait, forage in the valley. You know, it didn't strike me until just now. Forage in the valley, the vertiginous valley, right? What were the regions called? All right, I know I did this last time and it's very silly. I'm going to do it again. Hold on just a second. I'm going to go grab the... Oh no, hold on. She's got the map. The Valley of Vertigo. But it's the... Is it the swamp that we wanted to... I don't know. The Valley of Vertigo is dense with pollen-producing trees. This is where we were supposed to go to find a thing about the shimmer. So perception and biology here. Probably there will be some animals, right? Explore nearby doesn't say it's going to give you any animal points. Yeah, I think we want to forage in the valley because I think this will actually potentially let us figure out the next thing for the shimmer, as well as, fingers crossed, maybe allowing us to find a food source. Let's hope. Plus, you know, the points of biology certainly will not go amiss. I'm happy to have more. Utopia greets you warmly as you muster for your first expedition with the foraging team. Samhain, I'm glad you could make it. We need everyone we can get out here right now, boosting our food supplies. I am absolutely ready to sniff out those tasties. Teenagers say whack shit sometimes. Well, good luck hunting out there, she says, handing you an oversized backpack. More like a basket than a pack. Now you use your holopalm to identify edible and medicinal plants and just throw them in here. I'll sort them back at base camp. Oh, and keep on the lookout for creatures. It's pretty peaceful out there in the valley, but even a little bug will get you if you're not careful. Go slow, pay attention to your surroundings. If you're unsure about something, just don't approach it. Stay on the path and don't get lost. We don't call it the Valley of Vertigo for nothing. Any questions? How old are you? 27. I cannot imagine this is... I get it though. You're hormonal. You're like desperately trying to work out how to be romantic with people. Will Dis be with me this time? Utopia looks like she's trying not to smile. Nah, Dis is good at finding new things, just not so much the same things over and over. You'll be okay though, she continues. You won't be alone out there, and you're doing important work. You're about to leave when Utopia snaps her fingers. Hold up, Samhain. We're also investigating some species we might domesticate. Those we'll want to tag and capture. Ideally, we're looking for herbivorous creatures that already live in herds, and either produce something edible or reproduce quick enough we can slaughter them for meat. If you see anything that fits the bill, tag them and bring them back. Yeah, food. Food is important. Got it. I'm on top of it. We are basically like perfectly outfitted for this task with these levels of biology and perception and animals and everything. So I'm very pleased with the way that this has unfolded so far. I know we can just run past events, but we probably shouldn't run past everything, right? Also, events definitely... I want to look for things that have animals on them, but with events stressing us only 10 points instead of 15 and everything. You know what? This might actually be a de-stressor. Let's go ahead and take these two. Let's see what these two give us. Because sometimes we de-stress off animal events. You come across a veritable feast of berry bushes. Goopy, sagging bushes with enormous purple berries that look delicious, and we research them before we try to eat them. 76 in 3. 76 in 3 is not too bad. We can make this work. So... this is a little awkward. I guess we'll just play the 3 here. Yeah, I'd really like to do... I'd really like to do 4s across, but I can't actually make it happen. If we play one of our other 4s, it's going to change the value of our other cards. Yeah, let's just take this. We'll take the flush here. Okay, so now we have a hand that is like all sorts of colors. Well, so this could be a 4. If it's like 4... hold on, this would be the 6. So it's like a pair of 4s into a straight. I mean, that's not super strong, right? We really want to make the straight happen because of the freaky, but... what am I doing? It's almost certainly better to just play the 3 and get the longer straight. Yeah, I don't know. I'm being weird. I want to put the gem cards down with the things that affect the gems, right? All right, 35 on a full hand I think we can probably make. We might have to juice it up a little bit. So... wildcard values, okay, will match straights. So it'll do the thing we need as far as making a straight goes. It really is a shame the way these break up, though. So if I go like 0 to whatever we put up next is a 3, but it's like really awkward that it has to be a blue 3. Then we do that, we can get something going. If I change this to red, we can extend the flush. We won't get any value out of the +1. I kind of like this thing. I didn't realize it was gonna count this as a 2 of a kind and also the straight, but that is awfully nice. So yeah, okay, if we do this, then we only have to gain 15 stress to push through. Okay, so this being on there is worth 5 points. So it does not make more sense to just play the 4 instead. We can Mushwood Log another card and just get a little bit like... actually, can I? I cannot Mushwood Log anything without breaking everything here, right? Well, this card, like, we can make this a... because this is actually a 4. So what we could do is... yeah, we could Mushwood Log this to be a 6. But then I'm breaking my straight. I'm breaking my flush. Yeah, I'm just going to take this and eat the 15 stress, I think. I fucked this up. I should have used the yellow flower on something and then used the Xeno Egg on it. And we could have had We could have made this work and just had 5 red cards so that the flush was always live. Yeah, that's definitely a screw up on my part. Cool, an entire point of biology. Oh, these purple berries? They're not even in the Holopedia as berries. They're some kind of explosive seed pod. You take a few steps back, careful not to set one off. Is it going to be useful to set them off from a safe distance? I mean, I don't want to harvest them if they're... I'm going to set them off from a safe distance. I don't want to harvest them if they're explosive. You shield yourself behind a tree and throw rocks at the berries until with a satisfying pop, 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 the explosive berries begin to trigger a chain reaction. Each burst sends seeds flying in all directions like shrapnel, setting off the nearby berry bushes. You then carefully cut a path through the thicket and continue on your way. That sucked. That was really bad. This one? Something about the ground here draws your attention. It's oddly lumpy. What's up with that? Let's check it out with one of these good old perception challenges. So... I should probably, like... We should probably just use the blues, right? This is 13. It's not amazing. Our draws have gotten really unreliable because our deck is so big, and that is it's hurting us a lot. Like, that's just a lot of raw value. It's just high numbers. But am I better off playing these as 5s? That makes 25. Whereas this makes 27. It leaves us with 2 yellows in hand, which I'm not necessarily excited about because we don't have a lot of yellows in our deck. The odds that we're going to draw a bunch more yellows and be able to make a big flush off of this are pretty low, right? So maybe what we should do is just take this. I'm wondering if I want to actually... Maybe we want to keep these and do it like this instead. Ugh, that's only 19. So that's going to give us... We're going to have to make like 50 points. Ugh. But we have a ton of points in our hand. Feeling like felling a giant is not going to harm anything because there are no higher cards. I'm going to go ahead and hit next round here. Okay, so we got 5 reds. We can almost make a straight. It's so close. We don't need a big straight, you know, we just need like a little one to go off. But as it is, we are not getting one. We can't really mushwood log our way into a straight either. The way this is, it's very awkwardly broken up. If I... Yeah, no, it's just really awkward. So 4-card flush is worth 6 points. In order for it to be right to replace one of our reds, we'd have to be getting at least 4 points above the value of this card. So like 6, right? We'd have to be getting at least 6 points out of the placement in total. That's a little bit better because it is a pretty long straight. There's no way to set this up so that... Yeah, unfortunately, there is no way to set this up so that we are able to use the log to change around the order of the cards. We could just throw the log in here just for the purpose of you know, don't stress as much, and I think I'm absolutely going to do that. This is a tough area. Cool perception. Whoa, it's a potato minefield. Underground, the recent rain has swelled the young melons to bursting. You better watch where you step or you'll end up knee-deep in potato juice. The good news is they're tasty, so we better forage. Colony food, +1, yay. Also, kudos. They're so dang heavy, the calorie-to-weight ratio isn't optimal. Most are too young, but you find a ripe one, dig it up, and roll it back to the depot. Alright. Gaining a lot of stress very quickly here and not gaining a lot else. We got 1 colony food. A curious Vriki blocks your path. It's acting strange. It keeps scurrying up trees and hanging upside down to get a different angle to look at you, then dropping down when you try to pass underneath. It may be small, but it's at least attempting to be intimidating. It must mean something. And it's not interested in your pet Vriki, it's interested in you. Even Squidcap looks unsure and hides between your legs. Well, let's try to approach it. Oof, a 76. Okay. Well, we can take a flush here. Getting the 3 of a kind is going to give us a 15, whereas taking the 6 on this is just slightly better. And as always, I would love to build a straight, but I don't really think we have the option of doing so here. Okay. So, if I do this, 2, 3. Okay, this won't 2 of a kind with the cards on both sides of it. Wouldn't that be neat? Are we okay with this outcome? It's pretty not great, honestly. If I do like a 3, 4... we can get a little bit of color matching going at least. Then we have an 8-point straight into... yeah, we have to make 40 on the final hand. Oof. But we do pull an awful lot of red. So... it's not very exciting red, is it? So we can set up a 3, 4, 5. And also a 5. And also we just have a 4. I could give this 4 an extra point and tack it on to the end here, and it can be we can make a 3 of a kind of our 5s. That'll get us pretty close. Yeesh. All right, push through. Yeah, it becoming impossible to gain points of animals when we're at 64 animals is really rough. There we go, we got some. The Vriki runs up your leg. It's a giant spider thing and it's got weird tentacles and get it off. The urge to dance around and shake it off is almost uncontrollable, but you manage to keep your cool. The Vriki tastes you with its tentacle feeler legs, but doesn't look interested in causing you harm. It pokes at your backpack, trying to get in, then gives up and scurries off. That was shitty. That sucks ass that went that way. All right, I should go home soon, which means we are not going to do any more interactions until we have scoured this place for collectibles. Alright, so there's a ton of Vriki interactions. We should probably take the yellow one. Oh, that's some kind of new move. Maybe we should take that. Oh, that's an... shit, that's an interaction. You come out of the trees into a large grassy clearing. In the middle is well, you can only describe it as a pedestal. In the middle of a cradle of flowers sits a massive egg, easily larger than any you've seen before. It's white with red flecks, and it's just sitting here in the middle of the empty clearing, totally unprotected. Ah, damn it. I was hoping that we've had so many events in the other area where you could just choose not to engage with them, and they didn't stress you. But apparently that's not how that one works, which is bullshit. Very frustrating. Well, we got some gifts to give people. Basically just yellow flowers. But it's something. Mars likes them, at least. Here, Mars, I found this for you. Despite representing only 2% of an average healthy adult weight, the brain consumes at rest 20% of all energy produced by the body, Tange says, looking down at the pressed protein bar in her hand. So many resources to maintain such a relatively small organ. It's inefficient, don't you think? If any one of us demanded such a large share of colony resources, we would be reprimanded. Here, I brought you a flower. Okay, Tangent likes yellow flowers. So she actually does have 2 likes. Had to I saw that and then I was like, wait, read the text. I suppose this might be of scientific interest, Tange says, analyzing the flower. She pulls the petal off and looks at it. Yes, I'll have to take a look at this under a microscope. I'm gonna say the flirty thing. I want to flirt with Anemone too, but I like Tangent. Tangent's cool. Well, you're more beautiful than any flower. Awkwardly, drawing in the dust with your shoe. She grimaces. Please don't say that. She turns to walk away, then remembers herself. Thank you for the flower, she adds formally. Okay, don't do that again. Got it. I'm on it. I'm following. I understand what you're saying. I'm gonna rest on the walls. And then we're gonna go back out again. You're enjoying some quiet time on the walls when you look down and see a group of school children on a field trip outside the walls. Wait, are you missing a field trip? Oh, maybe you are missing something by doing all your schoolwork up here alone. Oh, I don't think I want to forget either of those. What's up, Tange? You spot Tange sitting on a large boulder outside the lab. She's eating a pressed soy bar ration with determination, alternating bites with huge gulps of water to wash it down as quickly as possible. Hey, what are you doing out here? She stops her grim work long enough to acknowledge your question. I hit the limit on the number of consecutive hours they'll allow me to work in the lab, she says. So I'm taking a break, she says, making mocking air quotes around the sentence. Well, how dare they? That's what I said, Tange replies. They just think they can boss me around because I'm younger. She scoffs. I'm smarter than any 2 of them combined. Tange groans and rubs her bloodshot eyes. I just want to work, you know? It's so frustrating to be deep in the zone and feeling like I'm just on the precipice of discovery, and then someone tells me that apparently my genius is taking too long. I want them to treat me like I belong there, the way Dr. Instance does, Tange mutters. She actually respects me. They're just jealous that she likes me more. Tange slides off the boulder, and you see the color bleed from her face as she stumbles into you, nearly crumpling to the ground. Oh, she grits out, leaning over while the dizziness passes. I thought the nutritional uptake of that bar would be quicker than a real meal, especially after taking into account the time required to walk to the cafeteria. She trails off, realizing she's clutching your jacket, and pushes you away. My apologies, she says, brushing herself off. I am, regrettably, it seems, only human. Tange scrubs her hands over her face. Ugh. Sometimes it feels like I'm a prisoner in my own body. Like I can feel myself trapped in it. This stinking, sweating bag of meat and bad impulses, stuck with the burden of keeping it alive every day for the rest of my life. And, honestly, I used to feel a lot like this, and it was transition that fixed it. Getting myself on the correct hormones basically made this feeling go away. So I don't know what to do for her. Is it better to say nothing? I mean, this is a stupid question. Which one of these things leads to me caring for her? I want to do the caring, but I'm not sure which road leads in that direction. If I say this, sometimes the best thing you can do for somebody is just like hold them while they cry, but we're not holding her. Right now she's pushed us away. I'm gonna say, Tange, wait, are you crying? Tange scowls and wipes her eyes angrily. Reflexive lacrimation is an evolutionary response to emotional and physical stress, she snaps. So in other words, no, I'm not crying. It's just this resentment for my physical form. It reminds me when I was little, an instance used the gene tech to give me this body. The right body. Only this body's wrong too, she adds quietly. It's right in a lot of ways, but it's still imperfect. It's still human. If I were an AI, everything would be more simple. I could just do my work. I could just do what I'm good at. No messy biological functions, no emotions, just clear and beautiful purpose. I hate this, Tange sniffles. I hate feeling like this. Again, the thing she's describing is so much what I went through for like 30 years. We're not doing this thing for like so many reasons. This is such an inappropriate moment. This sucks. This is just being cruel for no reason. So, well, I'm always here to listen, Tange. Tangent manages a watery smile as she wipes her eyes. Thanks, she says. I apologize for being all wet on you. It won't happen again. She wipes her eyes and straightens her jacket, then takes a deep breath and holds it for 10 seconds, her eyes closed. By the time she opens them again, she looks ready to go back to work as if nothing has happened. You admire Tangent's determination, but sometimes you think it might come at a price. It seems like it would be really hard to make this have the highest value. And we've unlocked the bars for Tangent. Oh, it's interesting that she doesn't have the same endpoints on her bars that the Dis does. Okay, we're gonna just move on here. We gotta go back out. Food stuff has got to happen. Do we know Mars's birthday? We don't, right? Yeah, we don't. You know what? I'm not going to give you the flower I just found because we might actually need it. I think we're going to go forage back in the same area. Yeah, let's do this again. We only need one successful animal check. One animal check that provides at least one actual point to max out our, to get our next level of animals, which I'm very curious about. And then also we need to, fix the colony's food supply problem. All right, Freaky, what's up? You come across not just one Freaky, but a whole swarm of them. Mostly just baby ones, about the size of your head. They're all amassed around a massive tree, scurrying up and down the trunk. When you can see the tree itself under the swarm, you notice it's the same pale pink as the baby Freaky. Its tentacle-like roots meander a fairly large distance before plunging into the ground. Do these things bud off of a tree? When the Freakies see you approach, they get agitated, and they look hungry. Definitely hungry. Like dozens of hungry, grapefruit-sized furry pink spiders. The stuff of nightmares. But your pet Squidcap doesn't seem scared at all. So we can fight them, but also we cannot fight them. And given that Squidcap doesn't seem scared, I'm hoping Squidcap recognizes whatever their behavior is here. I'm just gonna say, maybe they aren't so bad. Let's not fight them. You walk up to the tree and put your hand on it. The baby Vriki swarm around the tree trunk, very upset with you, but they calm down when they see you aren't doing anything. There's an unmistakable thrum of life under your hand, not just from the proximity of the baby Vriki, but from the tree itself. It's warm and leathery, and you can feel something like a pulse. It's alive. It seems as if this tree is itself a Vriki, just in a different phase of its life cycle. Does that mean the little clusters of fruit in its branches are Vriki eggs? Or maybe cocoons? There is so much you don't know, but you do know that this nursery tree is a special place. There's nothing to forage here, though. These ravenous youngsters have stripped everything edible from a wide radius. You move on, but you do get the perk. Oh, okay, the perk is a gear slot. I guess that makes sense. I kind of assumed that the perks would be the 3 gear slots you're allowed to get would be the 3 perks for organizing. Do we want to just run the hop eye as well? +1 bonus to pairs. We can almost always get that, right? Like, it's going to be better than the sun medallion most of the time, and it makes us stress less often, or stress for a smaller amount. This is a dead end. It feels to me like this one's got to not be good, right? Because it's a dead end, and it's the wrong direction. But being thorough is probably important when foraging for food. Let's find out. You find a healthy blep bush, and shoot, I didn't mean to do that, and harvest some of the leaves to bring back to the colony. Utopia's beyond excited when she sees your haul. Oh, blep, she cries, shoving her hands right into the basket of rustling leaves. Samhain, you're a girl after my own heart. She pops a leaf in her mouth and chews on it, then shudders happily. Ooh, that'll perk you up, but good. Anne prefers a heck of a bruise, a heck of a cup with the stuff, but me, I prefer it raw. She points at you. Now don't you go getting any funny ideas. This'll turn you green and give you spots, cross my heart. You stay away till you're older. That art is bad. That art is discouraging. Not bad, like upsetting. I mean upsetting. I'm gonna don't chew them, I think. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good. Good girl. Utopia's probably exaggerating about the cosmetic effects, but she must have a good reason. Blep leaves will probably stunt your growth or something. Hooray, only 9 stress. It's gonna make a difference. Alright, what's up with these Vriki? Your path is blocked by a massive 8-legged xenofauna, something between a spider and a squid and a bear. It's in a rage, grunting furiously and bashing itself against trees and rocks at random. You duck and hide as it glares in your direction, its breath heaving and dozens of eyes gleaming with madness. It's the same soft pink and purple you recognize from the multi-legged Vriki that live in this area, but so much larger. Could this be a related species? Its gaze drops from you to your pet Vriki Squidcap, who chitters and runs up to it, waving its grasping tentacles. The gigantic creature huffs and leans down to sniff it, its rage forgotten. This is kind of interesting. Like, there are things where the option is unlocked by having 20 empathy that you need to sing to it, but then the singing is actually a bravery is actually an animals challenge. I like this design a lot. I'm assuming this is bravery. Oh no, this is just raw combat. I'm gonna let the creature sniff our pet. If it thinks Squidcap thinks we're okay, then maybe it will also think we're okay. The larger creature makes a chuffing noise like a tiger, a bassy, vibrating exhale that ruffles your Vriki's fur. Sorry, I'm supposed to understand this as fur? I guess. Okay. Content that it's not going to eat Squidcap, you keep back and let them introduce themselves. The Squidcap isn't intimidated in the slightest. In fact, it seems totally relaxed in the presence of this hulking beast. They touch tentacles and sniff each other, and your Vriki even curls up in the bigger one's arms for a while. The Vriki have such a wild, set of phases of life. Wait, They look just like parent and child. Is this just another life phase of the Vriki? After a while, the huge Vriki leaves harmlessly. You're happy your little buddy got some social time with their own species, and we definitely learned something there. Alright, so we do the yellow one last, right? A line of termite-like insects crosses the path here. Curious, you follow them to their destination. A massive sponge-like hive of crawling bugs, writhing with life. The bugs are tending to larvae nestled in the holes of the sponge, feeding on the rich royal jelly that oozes from the hive. You step in for a closer look and hear a warning hiss from above. Atop the hive is a queen whatever it is. Oh wait, no, she is the hive. Wait, this is a squeeger hive. Her abdomen is swollen and lodged in the ground here, rendering her immobile, but not defenseless. The hive queen groans and growls at you, and the air prickles with the burning flavor of acid. She must have some sort of defensive acid spray? I mean, that jelly looks pretty edible, though. So this is a hard challenge. I'm going to go for it. We have a lot of stress room. Jesus, 96? Okay. All right. Let's do... Oh, that card gets a +3. I was gonna set up a 4, 5, 6 off of it. That being the case, I actually can't set up a straight. They done goofed me up here. We could get a... Gosh. We could set up 4s. That's not a terrible start. I hate using this card in that way, but... Alright. So now... The card gets +3 being all the way to the left over here is really kind of fucking me up. Yeah, this is really hard to take advantage of. Why does it have to be so far over? I mean, shit, maybe that's it, right? Maybe it's just like 4, 5, 6, and then also just play a 5 here because it's a pretty long flush. It hurts, though. I really want to play Harvesting Mushwood with all these gems. All right, so we do have yellow flowers. Remember, we can force this a little bit. So if we go... How does this work? If I put this here and then like play a card... Okay, it gets set to 3 even... The set to 3 happens last. It is the thing that occurs. Okay, I mean, it's cool that works that way. So as long as, unfortunately, this card is gonna drop if we play anything above a 5. If we play anything that is a 5, even. Yeah, I think there's just no way to cash in on this. This card having a base value of 2 is really a bummer. Okay, so... I probably want to make a big yellow straight here. If we do like 4... But I have to remember, if we're using the yellow flower, we're going to be changing the value on the card as well. Ugh, again, it's really awkward that this is all the way over here. So if we play this as a 6, we can upgrade this to be a 7. Right? We could do... We could do this thing. With this yellow +1 to be 6, this yellow +1 to be 7. That there to complete the flush. And then just like... I don't know. It feels pretty bad to just like play a 3 somewhere. It'll be a 7-point straight plus a 6-point flush. So we'll effectively gain 11 points versus the 2 here. Plus we'll gain 2 extra points on the cards. So it'll be a 38. And we'll still have to stress really hard to push through. Ugh, is there a better... There's got to be a better way to do this. Does the order I play them in matter? No. Okay. We could turn this yellow. So right now it's going to break if we play a 5, right? So if I turn it yellow and upgrade it twice, then it remains as long as we don't play a 7, which we can't. So we can get just like a really high raw number off of it. And then play the 4 and 5 around it, but not in a way that lets us get any... yeah, we get like a flush, and then we get... We can't even really get like pairs or anything. It's just 3 yellow cards and 3 yellow cards that don't connect their numbers in any way, and 2 red cards that don't connect their numbers in any way. But it is a very high base value. So this would be a 13 in that case. We'll get, what, 3 points for the flush. 2 points for this flush. So that'll be 13, 18, plus the 9 here takes us to 27, plus the 9 here takes us to 36, and it's not actually even better than the other thing I was gonna do. Yeah, I think that's true. I think it's just not better. So 5, yellow 6, yellow 7. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Right. Undo. I lost a point because it's no longer red. I forgot that it was getting a point for being red, even though the +1 was on there. I just wasn't thinking about... Shit. So yeah, then we do this and we take fucking 75 stress and then end our expedition immediately. Well, no, it'll take us to 86 and then we'll gain 9 and go to 95. We won't actually be done. But that's really... I feel very stupid about that. That's really frustrating. It's frustrating how dumb I am. Somebody help. Okay, well, now that I've done this, is there a better way to play this? That's the same. But if I'm no longer... Sorry, I'm being silly, though. If I'm no longer getting the Benefits of the... Wait, why? Oh, right, because the 6 breaks this card. Right, playing the 6 actually lowers the value of this card by 6. And I can't really rearrange this. Because this thing is really awkward. Yeah. Because, like, in theory, we could rearrange and go for the 3, 4, 5 here. But then I can't play the 3 here, obviously. That's very bad. And I can't play the 6 here. I mean, I can, but it's not actually, like, it's not an improvement. Yep, 75 stress no matter how we do it. So we just have to get a de-stressing event real soon. Ooh, we took an extra 4 stress. That's going to put us at 99 if I did my math correctly there. And it did gain us a point of colony food. You get in there and squeeze out some jelly from one of the Hive Queen's many holes, somehow managing to not get sprayed too badly by her acid. And like a red 6 with a gem on it, it's a very good card. Some lands on your arm and the back of your hand and sizzles briefly, but you keep your calm long enough to escape with your bounty. So yeah, that's going to put us at... Okay, it didn't add everything the way I thought it was going to, so we're only at 96. All right, we're going to go this way. I'm not going to get tricked by things that are not collectibles. I'm going to look at things before I try to pick them up. We are going to grab the rest of the collectibles before we go back home. Okay, so this just reconnects to the yellow event we already saw. It looks like there's another one on the path up ahead. And the yellow ones are the important ones, so we should probably do one of those as the event that sends us back home. Okay, those are real red Xeno eggs. This one's at the end of the path. I feel like this is the one we want to hit first, right? You're alone, exploring an unmapped area of the Valley of Vertigo. The pollen is thick here and your air filter is overworked. A warning light has been flashing orange for the last 10 minutes. But there are plants here you've never seen before. Flowers with intense rainbow hues and strange lumps of fungal matter which pulse as if they're breathing. You cut some samples. Utopia will totally give you extra kudos for these. The pollen is especially thick up ahead, deep fuchsia and shimmering with color. Everything here seems to dance with tiny flecks of reflected light. It's kind of magical. I'm afraid if I turn back right now, it's going to stress me and send us home, so we may as well press forward. You push forward into the suffocating pink fog. It's so thick you can only see a few meters ahead. You follow the glimmering toward where it's densest. You come upon a glade filled with what seem to be strange topiaries. They loom out of the glittering fog, each in the shape of an animal. They're all formed from the same spongy, glittering pink substance, and dotted with finger-length fungal growths. Like people, almost. You're so distracted you almost fall into a large hole in the center of the glade. Hey, let's check for danger right quick. You've seen plant-like animals before. Are these topiaries actually predators waiting for you to get too close? You watch them carefully from the edge of the glade. They're completely still, not breathing. There are no life signs. Okay, good. Your envirosuit beeps a warning. Let's take a sample quickly before we get kicked out of the event. Good. Okay. As you bend down to take a sample, you realize the dense shining haze is coming from the topiaries. The fog is seeping out of holes at the end of each fungal growth. You break off a few of the growths into a collection file. You remember helping Tange for extra credit in biology class. She said that the shimmer, the seasonal illness that affects your dad in pollen, is some kind of colonizing fungal growth. Could this be related? Your envirosuit beeps a louder warning. The thing is, I want to look in the hole. I'm going to. At the bottom of the hole is a cave. It slopes down gradually toward the cave floor, only about 4 meters below, but then disappears underground. You aren't sure how far the cave continues past that point. It's dark down there, obviously, but not silent. There's some kind of strange rhythmic whirring coming from further inside the cave. You hold up your palm and shine your hollow palm's light. The cave floor glitters with pink fungus, and the air is ominously choked with it. And my envirosuit is freaking the fuck out, so maybe we should leave. But also, maybe whatever's in there is critical to understanding the shimmer. Oh, friends, I'm very torn. I am very torn as to what to do in this moment. I'm going. Whether or not it's a good idea to go, I do think it's in character to go, right? You make your way down the gentle slope toward the cave. The thick, shimmering pollen makes it hard to see further than your hand. You see 3 glowing vats set into the floor like neon hot tubs, and an old-fashioned mechanical interface set into the cave wall. The reflecting glow from the vats flickers on the cave ceiling, ghost-like and beautiful. You feel a strong urge to take off your mask and stay a while. I'm going to poke at the mechanical interface. I do not think we should play with the liquid. We should definitely tell people that we found this. Maybe I should just bail now and go tell people that we found this. But, like, I want to know what I want to know what it does. Unmasked. Oh, hey, I didn't say that. Shit. Unmasked, you cross the cave and lay your hands on the interface. It feels spongy, almost alive, like some kind of puzzle of the flesh. Instantly, you can feel your mind blasted open by everything, all at once, as if 1,000 pairs of eyes all turned their terrible gaze upon you. You're thrown back by the shock, which brings you to your senses with a snap. The pollen! The sparkling dust feels like tiny knives in your sinuses, and a heavy, choking pain in your lungs. Why did you take your mask off? Why indeed? You slap your suit helmet back on to see its light flashing red, indicating filter overload. You lurch out of the cave and back toward the checkpoint, barely able to breathe. You know you need to get out of here, but a small part of you wants to go back down there. To stay in this glade. Forever. As you near the checkpoint, Utopia runs out to help you. You instinctively turn back, unthinking, wanting to return to the fog, to those strange statues. You collapse in her arms. Several days later, you wake. You don't remember much, just a great choking heaviness in your lungs, and the world swallowing you up and closing over your head. You have snippets of conscious thought from the last few days, but it's hard to tell if it was a dream or not. Oof. Man. Well, we were going to rest anyway. You remember Tammy sitting by your bedside, her cool hand on your forehead. But she's dead. That part must have been a dream. It feels like you had a fever once. Hot and sticky, achy all over, like you've been boiled alive. You're still terribly weak, and there's a pain in your chest like someone's been sitting on it. It takes all of your energy just to breathe. You live, but your body took a serious hit and may never be quite the same. Okay, you spent the month exploring. Congratulations on your biology points. It's time for Vertumnalia. My shit's all fucked up. Well, it would be, but as you file into the main square, you can't help but notice that the feast table is nearly empty. What Anne lacked in resources, she made up with care. The dishes are lovingly plated, soy cakes glisten, steam rises from buns stuffed with mince, and there are great pitchers of vegetable broth rendered out from even the most inedible food scraps. There's a neat stack of sugar cubes for dessert. Whole sugar, what a luxury. In an underwhelming feast, that'll be the highlight. This is grim, and I definitely do not think it is past this game to kill both of our parents if we don't figure this problem out. I'm gathering food. I hope it's helping. Governor Eudicott's welcoming speech this year is short. Her frail body trembles as she welcomes you all to Vertumnalia with a dry, whispery voice, then has to be helped off stage. Like all of you, she's been feeling the effects of the famine. Everyone clears away the chairs for the annual competition. Which one do you participate in this year? The numbers on the science fair have risen above what we could possibly do. We still have the toughness to participate in the bot pentathlon, but only just. Participation is for joiners. I mean, I kind of want to do the bot pentathlon because I want the heroic buff, and also I want the we get popular from this, right? Yeah. Well, I want the big red card that lays at the end of it, right? All right. Calm always adds something new every year, but no one's really at their best given the rationing. Running around sweating in the hot sun seems like a luxury nobody can afford, even you energetic kids. The spectators wave fans listlessly as Calm introduces that the addition this year will be thumb wrestling. Last 30 seconds against Calm or get a time penalty. Nem's face falls. No fair, she exclaims. Calm's the ship-wide thumb wrestling champion. He talks about it all the time. He's the worst. Calm just shrugs and blows his whistle for you to get into position. Okay, things have gotten more difficult for sure. That card gets a +2. Do we just take the 3 red 5s? I think this is okay. And then we can what makes sense here? So this is going to end up being a 4. It's actually going to be really awkward to get a straight going here. So this could be a 5 if we don't play the yellow card. And we could do this. That's not terrible. It gives us only 17 to finish. And 17 should be no problem. Like this makes a bunch of 6s right here. That's the game right there. I would just like, whatever. Some more, I guess. Does it make more sense to... It probably makes more sense actually to do this. Yeah, it cost me 1 kudos. Oh, there were 2 more points even. You don't beat Calm at the thumb wrestle. Nobody can. He's the best. But you do manage to hold on through 30 tense seconds of maneuvering and fake-outs and double fake-outs. Oof, the man is a master. In fact, the things you learn from Calm in those 30 seconds can be applied to the bot you have to wrestle at the end of the contest. You wonder how you never noticed before how much of bot wrestling is finesse, not just brawn. You win handily. Nem whines at Calm for being unfair, but she still takes second place. Okay, so yep, another red 5. Pretty good card. After the festivities, the whole colony takes a few days off for a break. Well, except for geoponics, and the foragers, and the kitchens, and everyone who uses the break from their usual work to help out in the places that didn't close. So it's not really a break, but you try to take it easy anyway. Yeah. We're going to stop here, but first... No, I'm not trying to talk to you. I was trying to go inside the depot. View the notice board. 70%, that's still starvation. Okay, we need to go back out. I'm still marked as injured. So we do need to rest. Even though we got 50 stress back for free. Ugh, I don't know how I'm going to manage this. But we are way deep into this episode. Probably this is not the time to be making the decision. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, just be prepared. I'm going to do my best to avert starvation here, but it might be the tiniest bit grim. Things might get the tiniest bit grim. and we'll see you then.